It's great. The game's great. Honestly, I wish I could tell you it's bad. I wish I could tell you you didn't have to spend $450 for a piece of shit and then another $70 for the game, but it really might be worth it this time. You could maybe say I'm biased because I...
Okay, all right, hold on. Are you out of your mind? There's no way it's worth buying a Switch 2 for this.
love baby games. I'm a big fan, but this game is basically Super Mario Odyssey 2, and I hated Super Mario Odyssey. I think that game is dog shit. It is made for literal toddlers to run around like an idiot doing nothing. It was the lamest, most juvenile, most dumbed down Mario game ever made, and this was made by the same team, so I started the game with the sole mission of collecting data on how to shit on it. And then I started playing, and I was starting to have a little fun, and I was getting a little afraid because I was worried the video was just going to be, it's all right, it's fine, it's not that bad.
Well, that's part of my problem and why I don't want to review it, because it's all right is not that interesting of a take, which is why I'm going to talk about the infantilization of family-friendly games or whatever. That's not what the title is going to be, because it's not a great YouTube title, but it's basically how I'm titling it in my head.
Which is really the worst thing you can tell anyone. There's nothing less interesting than a mediocre game. But then I started playing it a little more, and I started having a little more fun. And I'm like, oh no, I'm starting to smile. I can't remember the last time I smiled playing a game before. I keep playing.
And that's me, but I still feel that way. I forget.
Playing some more, and I keep having fun, and I think to myself, man, I've been playing this for a while, and it's keeping up the pace. It's only getting better and better, but I've gone through a lot of game. I must have been playing for a long time, and then I look down. I look down at the clock, and it had only been 2 hours. I can't explain to you that feeling, how long it's been that I played a game, and it felt like I was doing so much gameplay, but I had...
You know, in a weird way, I almost feel the opposite, though. While, yes, you get a lot accomplished in a short amount of time, did the lobby just fucking bug out? I think it did. I think I just saw that in the corner. Yeah, it fucking did. God damn it. So it's like, yes, you do get a lot accomplished in a short amount of time, but it's mind-numbingly boring, so I don't know. Is that good or... Excuse me, bad. God damn. Of course I have to eat some shit that fucks up my stomach while I'm streaming. I don't know. It's just the gluttonous nature coming out.
Only just begun. Normally it's the opposite. Normally I'm like, man, I must have been playing this game for 12 hours because it's so fucking shit and I can't stand it anymore.
Devin's the only guy who plays a game for 12 hours before he decides it's shit. Nah, there's plenty of people who do that. But like that, to me, that doesn't make sense. Typically, if a game sucks, then like every minute feels like an hour. So honestly, I don't agree with his argument here. Pacing Mario games so bad, it's refreshing. DK just throws game at you nonstop. Yeah, but it's a bad game, though. If the whole game is, you know, a 4 or a 5, I know, well, okay, I'm exaggerating. I did say it was like a 6 out of 10 game. But the point is, if the whole game, the gameplay is like a 6 out of 10, which, again, by my scale is not above average. That's probably right around average. Then, I don't know, I feel like it could use a little variety of some kind, and a few of the challenge missions have a little bit of variety, like when you're destroying the building, or you're doing like the 2D, old Donkey Kong Country reference levels, but if it's just mediocrity the whole time, then it's not engaging.
That's what I'm used to. So yeah, it might be time. It might be time to buy the Switch 2. Now, admittedly, I haven't bought it yet.
See, this is why people thought it was a parody, because he's telling people to buy a Switch 2 just for, you know, a 6 out of 10 game, at least by my rating.
I'll probably wait till the new Pokemon game to buy my own Switch 2. But unless you have a good buddy like me who will let you use theirs...
A good buddy... His brother, his older brother... who he talks to every day, is his good buddy. Wait, what? Raider game? What? How? How's a Raider game already? That's another thing. Somehow 5 people got to level 3 when your average game only 2, maybe 3 get to level 3. Yeah, no, it's cheating. It's not unlimited transformations cheating. It's subtle cheating like they have in Dead by Daylight, where in Dead by Daylight, they'll increase their speed by a few percentage. When you play this game enough times, you know what a normal match is like. You know, like, the speed of characters. You know, like, how many transformations per match. That was not a normal match by even any slight stretch of the imagination. Like, even normal-ass pre-mades do not transform over 20 times in a game. Like, that's ridiculous. The game used to be fun because I used to match against suckers. Now they all blocked my pre-made. It's yeah, the game was fun when I could get a match in under, 20 minutes and insta win, with my pre-made. Yeah, that's probably why he used to be called that, or why he named himself that.
I think it might be worth it to buy a Switch too. If I haven't convinced you quite yet, we might as well talk about the actual game. But before that, make sure to subscribe. Before we get to Donkey Kong Bonanza, let's talk about Super Mario Odyssey for just a second, because they really are very similar games in that they have moved away from the traditional Mario formula, where the old 3D Marios focused on fewer, more important collectibles, like 120 stars, compared to Odyssey's moons, which are far more plentiful, but less important. I think other than the Odyssey team simply improving over time, Donkey Kong Bonanza elevates the formula in 2 fundamental ways that completely change the dynamic of the game. First, there are far more collectibles in this game. Odyssey really only had moons and coins, and sometimes the coins are slightly different colors, while Bonanza has gone full Donkey Kong 64. There is so much shit to collect in this game. You have the main collectible, which are golden bananas. Then you have gold, which is the equivalent of coins. You also have fossils, which are used to unlock costumes. And you have multiple tiers of fossils. You have regular fossil, slightly rarer, bigger fossil, super giant, ultra rare fossil. Then you also have banana coins on top of that. And then all the way on top of that, you can collect music discs. There's just so much to get in every level. No matter what you're doing, where you're going, what you're fighting, you're always getting something. And that wouldn't matter so much if it wasn't for the second major improvement. The collectibles feel more impactful than not just Odyssey, but almost any other 3D platformer I've played, which sounds insane because...
Well, okay, alright. I know what he's getting at, because you collect bananas and they give you skill points and the costumes give buffs. And it's like, okay, yeah, but almost none of that fundamentally changes the gameplay. I feel like out of the skill tree, maybe only 5 skills actually, they don't change how you play, but they, like, improve certain abilities, like being able to surf on water with the rock surf thing. But that's pointless, because by the time you unlock that skill, you have the zebra, which just runs across water. So that's a pointless skill. But, like, things like, there's one that makes the ostrich glide longer. And that's good, because the whole point of the ostrich is to glide. But most of the abilities, it's just like, okay, normal DK can break a concrete wall in 1 less punch. It's like, okay, yeah, but I can just go big Kong mode and punch every wall in 1 hit. So that's a pointless upgrade too. So what does it come down to? It comes down to, like, health. Some of the OP items you can carry, like the apple juice, you can upgrade how many you can have of that. Trying to think, like, what are the good ones? Like, increase your radar for detecting shit through walls with the clap. That's a good one. But for the most part, most of the skills don't really change anything. So I don't know. Yeah, you could say that the collectible doing something is not very typical for So You Are Goy. I'll never forget that. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I wish there were more interesting games that came out. I feel like there's not very many interesting video games coming out anymore, which makes it much harder for my channel, because, like, I already don't care. God damn it. Really, Z5 Goku Black. There's no cheating. Yeah, but I guess I'm not feeling feeling it today. I should play something else probably.
Not a single collectible.
We'll do one more game.
Progress. Yes, literally, except for maybe some story moments, you would never have to collect a golden banana. Now, you'd have to be a psychopath to actually do this. I don't know why you'd buy a collectathon and not collect things, but if you really wanted to, you could just bum rush through the entire game. But that doesn't mean it's a bad decision. In fact, I think the distinction is extremely important because when they bar your progress through a collectible, they're making you collect it. You're not collecting it because you want to. You're collecting it because you have to. So how do they...
Oh wow, we found a game lightning fast. I agree with what he's saying, but I feel like that's just never been a problem for me ever. Playing a 3D platformer, really. Except maybe DK64. That was probably the only time was DK64. Z4 baby. Let's see if he miraculously catches someone in the beginning. But, I don't know. I kind of get it, but if the collectibles feel like they don't matter because most of the skill tree doesn't matter, then why are they even there? You know, there's like 10 billion collectibles that you don't need, and so it doesn't feel good to collect them.
Make the collectibles desirable? Well, the RPG elements, of course. Yeah, I know, it sounds fucking insane. Genuinely, it sounds like corporate meddling. Like every other stupid AAA game that shoves in RPG elements for no reason, but it fits so well. The main collectible, golden bananas, give you skill points. Every 5 golden bananas, you get 1 skill point. Then you can use these skill points to get skills. And the important part is, these skills are impactful. Each skill, upon unlocking them, immediately...
Swear to Christ, it was not on me. The other guy should have not given it to you in the first place. Well, I almost grabbed it, but Vegeta got to us at the last second. And so I didn't want to die since I had 6 out of 7 Dragon Balls, so I had to bail instead of grab the 7th one. Just the Debin video, yeah. Sure.
Improve the gameplay, and it makes every banana feel like you're working towards something important. It's like, oh man, I just need 1 more banana and now I have a double jump. Or, oh man, I just got 3 skill points, now I can surf across water. Or now I can be in my super giant ultra monkey form longer. It's just such a stark difference between Odyssey, where every time I got one of the stupid fucking moons, you had to sit through Mario dancing like a dipshit over what would essentially amount to as a 1-up in literally any other game. But in Bonanza, every time you get a banana, it doesn't matter that it's 1 out of 1,000 bananas. What matters is you're now 1 step closer to that cool skill you really want. Well, what about the other collectibles?
I mean, again, most of the skills are not cool, though. That's the thing.
Costumes are back, of course, and sure, it's good enough reward to look a little cooler, but no, they went 1 step beyond, and the costumes give you a tangible benefit. They all have substantial stat increases, and they were very smart about it. What they could have done is you get the costume.
The only problem is, even though they are significant stat increases, like, you don't need them because the game's already so brain dead easy. That's the problem. It's like, yeah, it's kind of cool that you can wear pants that make, you know, Big Monkey last 60% longer. It's like, that is a lot, but when do you ever need Big Monkey to last 60% longer when you pick up enough gold to transform immediately again most of the time? You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it is a tangible upgrade, but it's completely unnecessary. That's the problem. I can't believe the Lightside game shake my head. Yeah, honestly, I'm a little surprised too. We'll see if he still likes it though after playing some more. He hasn't caught up to me yet, but I don't know, I just kind of get the feeling that he, Ooh, did he scatter me?
And immediately you have 80% longer giant monkey form, and that would have been cool. We would have liked that, but they would have had to price it high, or they could have done the opposite, and it could have been cheap, and it would be 10% big monkey time, and you'd barely notice it. But they're smart. They made it incremental. The first one is cheap, then you get a little more, then you get a little more, and now the small fossils won't even get you it anymore. You have to find the rarer, bigger fossils, and now you get that huge benefit. 80%. That is extremely noticeable. I'll admit it. Originally, I wasn't getting all the fossils. I'll get them if I see them. Maybe I'd look for a couple. But as soon as I noticed that, I'm like, man, I want more big monkey time. I love being a big monkey. So I'm getting every single one of these. And I was having more fun. The game was more fun when I was trying to get every single one. And I just need that little push. That little bit of extra reward makes all of the difference. And what about gold? The thing you're gonna get the most of throughout the entire game. They're just like coins in Super Mario, but again, more impactful in every single way. Of course, you get to use them to buy stuff, just like Mario.
See, the thing that confuses me about all of this, that I don't understand, because I feel like Devin would normally agree with me on this, is that if you don't need it, because the game is completely brain dead easy, then who cares? You know what I mean? Like, I could probably skip every single fucking banana from the point I'm in right now to the end of the game, and I could beat it easily, you know? The only reason I don't like doing that is because I do like exploring a little bit. I mean, it is a collectathon. But you don't need any of the costumes. You don't need to upgrade most of the skill tree, except I've noticed maybe health. Health would probably be the only thing, because it seems like later in the game the enemies do more damage. So what, you literally just upgrade health and that's all you have to do? I mean, I guess you would probably upgrade Bananza and a few of like the transformation skills, which means you can skip, you know, 80% of stuff, just collect stuff when you see it and keep moving on to the next objective. It just feels like exploration's pointless because the reward doesn't matter because the game is too easy.
Power-ups, temporary, more health. You die, you get all your health back. That's pretty impactful, but we're not done there. No.
Devin just misses being jacked and being able to punch through solid rock. Yeah, that makes sense. It does make sense. I think he should play Red Faction Gorilla, though. I mean, I already streamed it, otherwise I'd tell him to stream it, but... Oh man, Grizzly Cone Raider. He's Broly. Wrong against pre-mades unless, you know, some weird shit happens.
Also how you get to Super Monkey form, the funnest part of the game. So they took something that genuinely doesn't matter. You barely even think about it. It's mostly just used to tell you where to go. And now it's the thing I literally want all of the time because it means I can turn into a giant demon monkey who destroys everything. And let's talk about the giant monkey. I'm going to illustrate how I think the Odyssey team has just generally improved. And if this does not sell you on the game, you're probably not going to like it, and it's fine. Don't buy it. Don't get a Switch 2. Wait for the next
lack
Smash
creativity,
Bros.
So even if it's easy, it doesn't expand gameplay mechanics enough to make it surpass its difficulty. Yeah, I mean, most of the skill tree rewards are fairly insignificant, and I feel like even transformations like I already said, transformations lasting longer doesn't matter, because most of the time you collect enough gold to get another transformation immediately after it's done. You don't need it to last longer. It's just, it's irrelevant. There's so much gold. That argument was like addiction from drug dealers. First they give you it for free, then they charge you more after every single time you buy it. I will leave the stream. Good luck. Alright. Thanks. I literally spammed I'll leave the stream. We don't believe you. Fuck you.
Chief with Jesus Christ in Super Mario Odyssey.
One of our teammates was sabotaging the game anyway. Grizzly, the jelly to ruler guy.
Pound it, and now you've got a moon. Maybe if you're feeling extra spicy, you could do like a cap throw dive to go slightly faster. But if you ask me, this is extremely lame and not interesting at all. I have already fallen asleep watching this clip. Now, Donkey Kong Bonanza. I see a golden banana through the wall right over there. All I have to do is move from point A to point B to get the main collectible of the game with literally no obstacle in between. I cannot take damage. I cannot lose. But what I do is I turn into a giant monkey. I punch through a fucking mountain screaming at the top of my lungs, and then I get the banana. If you don't see the difference there, it's fine. The game's not for you. But to me, this is infinitely more engaging. It's not.
Never say the game's not for you, even if sometimes that's true. I don't think you should ever say that, ever. I don't think you should. That's just, no, it's just not, it's not a good argument, you know? I mean, yes, like, if I play Hello Barbie Adventure, I'm not going to expect the game to cater to my taste, but I could still say it's a bad game, you know, if it's a bad game, you know? So, this game, it's not bad, it's just extremely repetitive and bland, you know? I'm, again, not really sure why Devin likes it so much. Honestly, I don't know, because I know his taste, and it's a little different from mine, certainly, but not that much different. Granted, Devin does have lower standards for 3D platforms than I do. He played, excuse me, the stomach. I hope the mold's not come back, sincerely. But anyway, he played this game called Poi, an indie game, and it's fucking shit. You know, no offense to whoever developed that game, I guess. But the game sucks. And Devin's like, this is pretty good. Nah, I don't think he said it like that, but it's not good.
Harder. In fact, it might even be easier, but it's more fun. I'm doing cool shit. I like cool shit. Odyssey is lame. Donkey Kong Bonanza is just fucking cool. It's cool all the way through. The bosses do.
It's cool all the way through. Devin had only played 4 hours at the time of making this, you know, while collecting a bunch of shit. So he lied. Liar. Liar. He only played like 4 hours. Mega Rock and Roll, thanks for $5. I can't believe I'm watching the Synthetic Man play the greatest multiplayer game of all time, Dragon Ball The Breakers. Truly blessed times we live in. Absolutely. I had a mold issue after living in STB 75th RR Barracks, and the docs told me to take raw honey. You know, I wonder if Devin has eaten raw honey. It might be worth asking him. I could ask. Oh, no.
Dude, they're barely even bosses, but it feels fucking awesome to have a giant golem spawn in front of you, and then you punch him to death in 30 seconds. Because that's what this game is. It's a true power fantasy game. And it's everything I could have wanted in a power fantasy. Maybe. I
don't know. I don't agree at all. I feel like the superhero genre did a much better job of this. Like the prototypes, the Infamouses, you know, that sort of thing. Even, you know, the old Spider-Man games to some degree. This, it feels to, again, fetus game is the best way of saying it, right? As we joke about.
It could have been a little better if when you punch something it exploded into blood, but that might be the only thing I want.
Explode into blood.
You're just collecting.
That sounds more like Devin.
It all feels great to get, and then as soon as you see an enemy, you punch him into the fucking sun. You go straight through mountains. You scream the whole time. It's great. You feel like a superhero, and not the lame ones who are like shooting magic or whatever. The cool superhero.
Do you think he might be alienating the attendees that agree with him and might like by constantly shitting on Odyssey? Good question. I don't know. Most people don't even have... this motherfucker sabotages our last game, and he's a level 100 Z5 picking Ginyu Force. Yeah, fuck this guy. I don't like this guy now. This guy sucks. DK is truly the best game ever until next game releases. Well, but here's the thing. I think even the buzz, other than journalists who no one cares about their opinion, the general like gaming audience buzz is that this game is unremarkable, I would say.
Hero who's basically brain dead and just punches his way through every single problem. This game is fun in the same way that spawning in a bunch of tanks in GTA is blowing up every single cop car, except the game is...
Actually, that's a great comparison because that gets boring after 5 minutes. Just like You know what? Actually, I agree. I 100% agree, because that stops being fun after 5 minutes, and so does Donkey Kong Bonanza. That was kind of funny though.
Built around it. Everything from the level design to the enemy design to the boss design is built around making you feel strong, because Donkey Kong is supposed to be strong. He is basically a god in this world. He is the homelander of the monkey race, here to obliterate all of his enemies. So we can briefly talk about the combat, but if you've heard anything I've said so far, you know exactly what it is, and I think it's perfect for a 3D platformer. It's unobtrusive. You literally just see an enemy. If you're not paying attention, they can hurt you.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I kind of agree. I wish there was more enemy variety, though. I feel like you really do fight like the same 5 enemies for most of the game. But yeah, the combat doesn't need to be complex. It's fine.
I have died in this game, but for the most part, they're just there as a giant punching bags for you to explode into bits. Every fight is solved in less than 30 seconds by either punching them into the earth or picking up the earth and beating them to death with it. There are no fancy combos. There's no juggling people in the air.
There's barely any enemies in the open world,
and with every punch, bits of their body explodes into dust. Any more complexity, it wouldn't fit the design of the game, it wouldn't fit the power fantasy, and it wouldn't make sense for my monkey man, because he should obliterate everything just by looking at them. Now, I have sure been talking about Mario a lot in my Donkey Kong review. While this is basically Odyssey 2, this is clearly a Donkey Kong game. It has so much love for Donkey Kong, way more than I was expecting given the shitty redesign.
I changed my build,
yeah. Love for Donkey Kong, I don't mean the original Donkey Kong. I mean love for the Donkey Kong we all know. Rare's Donkey Kong. The entire game is filled to the brim with references to the original Donkey Kong Country, as well as the game design clearly taking inspiration from Donkey Kong 64. I don't think it's a coincidence that Donkey Kong Bonanza...
Devin should have played a few more hours before making his review. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Devin, though, I mean, what he's doing makes sense for YouTube if you're trying to grind out as fast as possible, becoming successful, is just pump out as many videos as possible on, again, trending topics. It's just that everyone's mad at Nintendo outside of like the biggest pay piggies ever. So they don't really want to see a Donkey Kong review, especially when the game is not that notable. Devin seems to be this game's #1 fan.
It has more collectibles than any other 3D platformer, beaten only by Donkey Kong 64, except better in basically every way, because those collectibles feel extremely impactful and you don't have to switch Kongs every 25 seconds. But as for those references that we all love, all of your favorite Donkey Kong characters are back. Cranky Kong, Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, all of our Kong friends are back. The animal buddies are back. The items are back. They literally put the balloons
I haven't done the
from
Rambi
Donkey
level
Kong
yet.
Country back into this game, and they fit perfectly. They very easily could have made this some random-ass new rock thing that brings you back to life. It's the balloon from Donkey Kong Country, and it works exactly like you think it would. In fact, you want to talk about love for Donkey Kong Country? They literally have a Donkey Kong Country level in this game, and it has the secret from the first game to get a golden banana. So if you remember, if you've played the original Donkey Kong Country, you'll know to turn around so that you can go back into Donkey Kong's house and collect a banana. Remember the Kremlings, the enemies from Rare's Donkey Kong that we haven't seen since Donkey Kong 64? That everyone lost their mind when King K. Rool was announced for Smash Bros? Now, I haven't spoiled anything in this review so far that hasn't been in the trailer, and I'm not going to start now, but all you have to do is look at the skeletons of the enemies. Those are Kremling skeletons, and you can figure out the rest from there. Yeah, there's no doubt that this is a Donkey Kong game. Even in general, there's a much greater...
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I don't even feel like listening to the rest of this. It's like... It's a Devin hyping up a mediocre game, which I guarantee by the time he finishes it, he won't even like that much anymore. All right, let's watch something else. Raymond. We could listen to a Raymond keynote.